All the other Sims freaking waited their turn to slap her in the face. They like single file lined up just to give her their old slapperoo. My vinyl toy is available now for purchase at softservetoys.com, and it comes with an exclusive trading card, so make sure you get it before it's gone. Anyone and everyone who's played The Sims has at one point tortured their Sims. You've trapped them in a pool and deleted the ladder. You've made a box around them and just waited for them to die. Set them on fire. That's my favorite thing to do. The list goes on and on. We've all done it. We've all been there. Why do we do it? I don't know. It's funny. It's a little twisted, but it's funny. So today, I'm going to read some of your torture stories. How you chose to make your Sims' lives miserable. We're all in this together, so let's celebrate it. Also, we all sound like crazy people, but it's fine.
The link to all of these stories will be in the description.
Number 1, I had an actual torture dungeon in my house. You're doing amazing. Stone walls, no chairs or beds, no toilet, no door. One wall was entirely a window, and the nice posh room it faced had comfy chairs for the rest of the family to watch as the prisoner repeatedly soiled themselves and lived in squalor. Okay, I do have to admit, that one's messed up. You literally made a dungeon, but not just any dungeon, a dungeon that gets to watch the other people live their nice, cozy, privileged lives, while the prisoner has to just sit there and watch until they die. That one's pretty freaking bad. Number 2, I made a guy who was a compulsive neat freak and put him in a really surreal little house with a wedding buffet and a hamster, and deleted the door. Of course, Sims cannot have doors, otherwise would it even be torture? No. Eventually, he went insane from lack of cleanliness and depression over his little rodent friend dying. That's so sad. And starved to death once the banquet rotted. Ugh. I put the resulting urn in the room, then repeated an identical scenario several times, always keeping urns in the room. Eventually, the 10th iteration of this guy was up all night, every night, terrified of a parade of ghosts of himself. Wow! Are you some sort of evil genius? Round of applause. That's creative. It interests me that it's the same guy over and over and over. That is twisted. That's twisted stuff. Oh, you really did that. You really knocked that one out of the park. Number 3. I tried to make a utopia where everyone would be happy and playful in the forest. The only thing I provided was a toilet on one segment of plain wall, a fridge, and lots of trees. It was a disaster. People peed everywhere and were hungry. And that's it. That one was really short and sweet. You tried, you tried. That's the difference. I don't think you were trying to torture them, but it really ended up that way. Sims don't do well when there's only like one toilet in like a big space. They don't know what to do with themselves. You tried, I'm gonna give you that, but you failed. Number 4. I had a normal suburban family, nice house, 2 kids, the works, except they also had a secret child they kept locked in a room in the basement with nothing but a sink. What the hell is he gonna do with a sink? They only ever visited him to bring him a plate of old, terrible food once in a while and taunt him. Eventually, the kid's sink broke and kept flooding the room. Since he was a kid, he couldn't repair the sink, so it just kept flooding. The kid spent all of his time mopping up a never-ending spill and crying. I don't know which one's worse. I don't know if this one's worse or the first one where he made a dungeon where they get to look at like the happy family. I don't know what's worse. I guess they're almost kind of similar because the secret child knows that the rest of the family's having a dandy time in their nice suburban house, while he is stuck in the basement with a broken flooding sink. All he can do is mop and pray he doesn't drown. I decided to run a MasterChef style challenge with a household of 7 Sims and Gordon Ramsay. I'm intrigued already. The Sims would partake in various cooking challenges, with Gordon presiding as the judge. This sounds great. However, whenever someone got eliminated, I'd have Gordon lower the poor Sim to the back of the lot and starve them to death. Sim mods are great. It continued until only one chef was left alive, and then as victory, I'd have them Gordon and then themselves. It was glorious. So when I started that one, that's not where I thought it was gonna go. I really didn't see it going like that. Jesus! That one was the most graphic of them all, but it's basically like Chef Battle Royale. Who's gonna be the last one standing? In this case, no one. That one was something else. I cannot say I've ever done anything that twisted. But then again, sim mods are crazy, so. Number 6. I built a haunted house and killed 3 families for the cemetery. If you're gonna make a cemetery, there has to be dead Sims. How else are you gonna do it? The game literally gave me a pop-up saying The Sims is a life simulation and that I was killing too many Sims. Which Sims game was that? No, it wasn't The Sims 4. That had to have been something else. Sims 2 maybe? That sounds like a Sims 2 pop-up where they're like, what are you doing? The Sims 2 was like really great at breaking the fourth wall. Like if your Sims were hungry, they would physically turn, look at you in like the camera and then yell things. Like they would look at you in the eyes. Now they just yell into the void, but they used to look at you. I made a female Sim and had her have like 5 or 6 different relationships going at one time. Scandalous. I had her propose to one Sim and then invite all the other Sims over for a party. I made sure she didn't talk to anyone and just made the 2 engaged Sims get married in front of all the others. It was chaos. All the other Sims freaking waited their turn to slap her in the face. They like single file lined up just to give her their old slapperoo. There was so much screaming and crying. The next day, her trash can was knocked over every couple of hours. It was so much fun. So all the people that hated her came by just to kick that trash can over. They said, screw you, boom. I once made a huge frat house. All of them had the bro trait with max Sims you can put in a family, so 8. Then sent one into town to befriend a bunch of people. They had a huge party with all of the guests. Then I deleted the doors, of course. Once everyone arrived and let it fast forward for days. I lost count on the days, but I know 4 Sims died in a fire after one of my Sims tried to grill. It was a rager for sure. The guests were congregating where the front door used to be, repeatedly peeing themselves and falling asleep in their own puddle of urine. Delightful. My Sims would try to sleep in their bed, but guests would wake them up after a short amount of time. The end. That's the end of the story. I want to know how that ended up. Did you just give up after that? Were you like, yeah, I've had enough? I discovered a recipe that would cause a Sim to die instantly after eating it. I got into the habit of making a big batch of it, locking my Sims away in a room and having one of them use the phone to throw a party. Oh, I know where this is going. This is such a good idea. Guests would arrive, not see any of the hosts there, and simply grab a plate of food and die. I thought that was gonna say grab a plate of food and eat, but oh no. They're not eating, they're dying. Well, they're eating and then they're dying. The backyard was turned into a graveyard with all the headstones of unsuspecting party guests. That's my favorite one so far, because it's so diabolical, but also so subtle, and that's what makes it special. I wanted to make a church with a full, complete graveyard. So I built a small, simple structure and moved in a family of 8, got them all inside, removed the door, of course, and filled it with fire. Yes. Yay! 8 new tombstones! I repeated this about 9 times, and then built the church and moved in a priest to live there and tend to the grounds. Unfortunately for the priest, several dozen ghosts would materialize every single night. Tormented by the crowds of specters, he himself died 3 days later due to never being able to sleep. That's kind of awesome. That's kind of sick. I like that one a lot. I love the idea of it being like so haunted that he died. I mean, if you can't beat him, join him. I had 2 Sims that were married with 3 kids. The female Sim cheated and got pregnant with another guy, and she divorced her husband to marry the guy she cheated with. I had the OG husband come back and kill the new husband, then sleep in the same bed as the wife. Well, that took quite a turn. That one was a lot more, how do I say this? Evil than I thought it was gonna be. I picked the hydrophobic trait for my Sim, and then instead of doors, rooms were connected by small pools. He had to face his fears every single time he wanted to change rooms. All right, that's just funny. That is really, really clever and funny. It's torture. You literally made that Sim with that idea in mind. So, I mean, you are evil, but so funny. Oh my God, that's funny. I want to do that. now. I want to see what that's like. I'm just like writing these all down for my own personal gameplay. I locked the husband in a very small room with a bed and a lamp and kept him only for breeding purposes. This is off to a really interesting start. He was madly in love with my female sim and gladly impregnated her as many times as she wanted. He was always so happy to see her. When he exhausted his potential, that's a really nice way of saying that, I took away the door and left him there to die in a puddle of his own pee. Rip. They all die in their own pee. Mine died in a pile of dirty laundry. It's never a good ending. And that is where I'm gonna end it for today. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and comment down below some of the ways that you've tortured your Sims before, because we've all done it and you know it. To become part of the early squad, click that notification bell and make sure all notifications are on so you never miss any of my videos. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye!